Let's go.
Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I appreciate you tuning into this show. If you do not mind, please pause the video, like and subscribe our new channel on Rumble, Scriptures and Wall Street. Feel free to go over there and actually like and subscribe if you find this information informative and you like it. I could use a follow there. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Man, what a debate, or what a bloodbath. I mean, I think Joe Biden is officially dead. Like, it's safe to say Stupid Face is completely dead. It's a weekend at Ernie's right now. With Jill and Michael Obama holding him up, right? It's I saw this graphic. I thought it was funny from a friend of mine. I am just really concerned about the presidential office right now. We only have what? July, August, September, November. I mean, we only have like 3 or 4 months here. What are they going to do? Obviously, Biden can't continue on like this. Like, the 25th Amendment is going to be evoked. Like, who wants to have this as a president of a major continent? He kept on referring to that there's not one person that wouldn't want his seat. And at this point, I'm like, dude, you don't even have a platform to talk on. Let them know no one even trusts you. And let's see what the talking heads are saying real quick. Watch this video.
And exactly what we do. They see exactly what we do, and we'll see what action they take.
Michael, was this just political posturing from 2 Republican members of Congress, including the Speaker?
I mean, it could be political posturing, but it is entirely possible that we see a vote on this down the road. Chip Roy officially filed that resolution today. It essentially calls on Vice President Kamala Harris to convene the cabinet and have a conversation about whether or not President Biden is fit to carry out the duties of the office of the presidency. Look, whether or not this gains traction, other Republicans hop on board, that all remains to be seen. I mean, this is something that just broke this morning and is still developing right now. But, nonetheless, the Speaker of the House endorsing something and saying that something should be looked at, that gives it a lot of political heft up here. Will Johnson put it on the floor? Remains to be seen. Will Chip Roy force a vote on it? Remains to be seen. But the fact that it's in the ether is just not something that the Biden campaign and the White House wants to have being discussed.
The fact that there is talks of evoking the 25th Amendment right before an election, that is literally like Democrats are scrambling. They're scrambling like crazy. It is full blown. It is full blown death con right now for them, and I really don't understand what they're going to pull out. Is Michelle Obama? Is he, whatever it is? Are they going to elect her? Are they going to have Newsom? Are they going to have whatever type of woke agenda, far left? I have no idea what's going to happen. And honestly, I don't even care, because we know they're going to pull some strings. We know there's going to be a lot of distractions, war, stock market crisis. There's going to be things in the economy that are just going to really distract. And it's shaping up that a massive event will happen. Now, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to insinuate like hate, or I'm just here to kind of talk about all this and what we need to do as God-fearing patriots with our money and our retirement, and also reference some scriptures in this time of dark uncertainty. But I just thought it was funny. That I didn't know Biden golfed. I legit didn't know that Biden golfed. Like, who the heck would figure that Biden could golf? He told Trump that he'll take him on any time, that he has a handicap, and his handicap is a lot less than his. And basically he'll beat him and he has to carry his own bag. I couldn't believe that. Trump should have responded and say, well, you got to carry your own oxygen tank. I mean, did you guys see it? The guy couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. I don't know why he talks like this. You know, he's looked like me when I was laid up in a hospital with double pneumonia in 2020, 2021. Really, really bad a state of affairs going on right now, guys. We really have to pray for our country. It is sad to see all this happening, and we don't have to look far, man. Like, we're going to look at some charts. We're going to look at some basic things that are just showing signs of weakness, not just with him, but our economy is getting weak. Our economy is hurting. Like, home prices are going down. Unemployment rates are going up. Credit cards are just, they're all maxed out. People cannot spend money because they already maxed them out because inflation is terrible. So there's some things that really, really need to happen. But, you know, what I thought was interesting about the debate was they really focused on abortion. Like, this is how backwards CNN is. They're going to focus on, I don't know who they're trying to cater to. Is it the women and the pro-choice rights? But we got a major situation here. We have illegals coming through the border. There was no response with stupid face Biden. There was no response when Trump said, yeah, he had to console a little girl's family that died and got raped and killed by a illegal immigrant. He had nothing to say other than mumble some words about, well, what do you say about a sister or that was raped by a family member, and mumble his way out of it. He had no response. It was like, it was sad. It was really sad to see a person literally die on TV with vomit coming out his mouth, mumbling. And he's a president of the United States. Like Obama, you need to start finding a better puppet to train because he's not cutting it anymore. And unfortunately, we may have Kamala become the president of the United States. If Mike Johnson, representatives like Chip Roy, that literally wants to evoke, has already filed for the 25th Amendment. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, because now Kamala will be president. And we have another slew of problems with that aspect, with that situation. So America needs your prayers, guys. I say all that because I can go on. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but he had no response. He had no response to the border crisis. He had no response to the illegals coming in and saying, hey, they're going to vote with no voter ID. He had no response with the VA. Trump continuously drilled him about the VA, that you're taking care of illegals more than our veterans. He had no response to that. And he said he was mumbling his way about Medicare. And yeah, he's beating up Medicare. He couldn't even get his point across with Medicare. I guess the teleprompter didn't work with that rebuttal. I have no idea, but I don't think Biden and Trump will debate again, because it would just, that was just terrible. Like, even the Democrats are worried at this point. A lot of them are talking about the 25th Amendment, and it's funny to see the media. It's funny to see the media try to say, yeah, he was sharp. I've never seen him so sharp. I don't know if you guys saw that. Fit, witty, in shape. He is the best president ever, and he will continue to fight for us. You have the mainstream media on the left saying this garbage. Like, here's a little clip. Take a look at it. Absolutely unreal. And this is what's going down right now, guys. It's disgusting.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
She knows so long as she was 9.
In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been.
President Biden has a photographic memory. His understanding and mastery of a complicated geopolitical situation, remarkable.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
I was sitting, 2 feet from him across the table, and he was, intense.
Have trouble walking sometimes? Yeah, so did FDR. He wanted GD war.
But he's totally focused. He's very sharp.
They say he's sharp in meetings and so on.
Very lucid, very well informed. Biden is stately, and he comes with gravitas. There hasn't been, as far as I know, a single claim that Biden made a mistake.
Ageism is an issue.
It is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like, this is what's going down. And I want to tell you that the media will continue to lie. They lie about the GDP reports. They lie about the consumer spending. They lie about all these things. They even lie about the health of Joe Biden and his cognitive ability. So where else does this show up? And this is why conservative media will be the future. This is why truth media will be the future, because we're just tired of it. Like, the average people are just tired of it. And we can't even turn on the TV without even getting unfiltered real news. Even if it hurts us, even if it's a situation that we can't take the truth because it hurts our feelings, we still need to know the truth. So with that being said, I really don't need to continue to bash a Biden. We all know how that story ends. Hopefully we get Trump to get in. I believe, like, if he does win, they try not to steal the election, then America has a shot of getting back. America has a shot of getting back. We have to lower this deficit. So the other issue with the debate is, look, Bush spent a lot of money. Obama spent more money than Bush. Then Trump spent more money than than Obama. And now Biden has spent more and added more to our deficit than any other president in history. So every single president will spend more. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or right. That's how it's the cards have been. Trump was big on our military, and obviously we had COVID. We had to spend money. We had to have stimulus for the economy so that businesses can thrive, and having the PPP. Like, there was rationale behind it. There's no rationale about sending this money to Ukraine, Taiwan, sending money to all of these countries that really don't deserve it. Israel, we have people struggling right now, and yet you're sending billions, not millions, but billions of dollars to a country that really doesn't even have our best interests at heart. They don't even care about us. And so Zelensky is like the biggest scammer that you can possibly, he is just tooling us. Like, Biden is completely weak. I don't know what they have on him. They have something on him, and he keeps on pushing money for them. It's just disgusting, man, because we see our veterans, we see single moms, single dads struggle just to pay rent, to pay mortgage, to pay groceries. We have all these TikTok videos of just single moms and dads in their cars literally crying to go to their third job because they can't afford it. Like, even their friends are getting together and they can't even go have a social life because there's so much inflation. There's credit cards. There's all these things that are just hurting the economy. Speaking of which, want to just take a second look at some things that you guys know I like looking at. Let's see here. So speaking of a weak economy, U.S. GDP growth revised upwards to 1.4% for Q1 2024. Consumer spending slows. So the Q1 report just came out. And it's not looking good, guys. Our GDP is set to go down. Of course, the definition of a recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP. So once our GDP goes down in negative quarters, we will officially have a recession. But the White House now continues to change the definition of a recession. So they don't want a recession on their watch, right? It goes back to what is a woman? What is a woman? Like, they're changing the definition of a woman is. Personal income. The current dollar personal income is almost 400 billion in the first quarter, downward revision. So they keep on having revisions on personal income. How many revisions do we need? Disposable personal income, obviously, is a downward revision to 26 billion from the previous estimate. So real disposable personal income increased 1.3%, a downward revision of 0.65 percentage point. So the article goes on and talks about how people are not able to save, and basically it's going to have a massive impact on our GDI, which is our gross domestic income. But we don't even have to look any further, guys, because consumer spending, as you know, is down. And what I like to look at is simply our other charts. So let me go back here. And I'm going to show you, what do people buy when they have extra money? They buy $5 coffees. They go to places like Starbucks. But I want to go ahead and look at this chart real quick. This is early in the, actually, no, this is Q3 of last year, where we had a little increase and then it started bearing off. So as we look into January or December of last year, January this year, I got a death cross on Starbucks. And so basically the death crosses and moving averages, 200 and 120-day moving average. Typically when that forms, we will have a decline in the markets. And so Starbucks for the past quarter has been boom. I mean, it looks like a Tesla stock last quarter. And it is just tanking, absolutely tanking. So Starbucks is not doing good. And if you notice on my my traffic lights on the bottom, the first 3 are short term, the last 3 are more of a long-term momentum. And it is not stopping. Like, this is going to go down. And if we look back in 2008, when we did have a massive recession, Starbucks did terrible in 2008. You can see that over here. It just kapoots. So I like looking at Starbucks because it is a leading indicator. Unofficially, it is a leading indicator of what could happen to our economy. And so people are not spending money on the $5 coffees. All-time high on credit cards. Also, the other thing I wanted to look at is the interest rates. So they didn't really talk about the interest rates. They really didn't even have they didn't have anything about the interest rates. I'm like, all they talked about was inflation. So they dodged, like, the number one problem is the border and the rates, the actual interest rates. Like, interest rates have a huge impact on inflation. If you raise interest rates, you got to raise inflation, and it weakens our dollar. But no, they didn't even talk about that, because we would make Biden look bad. And Trump still mopped the floors with him. Like, he still just mopped the floors with him. So here's our Fed funds rate, guys. Like, we have a golden cross here. So if you see this golden cross, basically what this means is it is going up. That was back, and we got a golden cross in February, and interest rates actually shot up. But if we look at the history, back in the 60s, here we are. Like, we've had the same interest rates in 1967 as we are right now, like this high. It shot up in the 80s, if you guys remember that, to my older listeners or retired listeners. And then interest rates started going down. This is why the bond market started increasing like crazy. And as these interest rates rose, your bonds crashed. Your prices of your bonds went down. So if we look at my trade of the year, TMF, which is 3 times the price of the treasuries. So as you can see, those bond prices have been going down. But once it hits this all-time low, which it is already there, we should see a massive, massive increase, which TMF is 3 times the treasuries. And so if the treasury markets goes up 20%, this will go up 60%. If it goes up 10%, it will go up 30%. Also, if it goes down another 10%, you will lose 30%. So you have to trade at your own risk, guys. This isn't for the faint at heart. This isn't for retirement money. This is for money that you're trying to find to to have capital appreciation. So do not trade this if you are looking for retirement, because this is not retirement money. This is investment planning. This is for someone that wants to risk money. I just like the odds on this because eventually what's going to happen is they're going to lower interest rates, and this basically this all-time low would increase to roughly, if a 10% increase would probably mean a 30% increase. So we're looking at 54. I mean, if we looked at TMF in history, basically this wasn't around, but the sister ETF is TLT. So if we look at TLT, we will see back where the bond yields were over 179, the bond prices. So the actual price literally could skyrocket tremendously once they drop these interest rates. Pretty amazing what this opportunity is. Again, I'm just talking about this, and this is a disclosure here that everything I say on this podcast is for education purposes only. This is not investment advice. If you're trading this, you need to be trading at your own risk. Do not call me and say, hey, I made a trade and I lost money, because I never gave you that advice. This is for education and information purposes only. So I want to make sure you understand that. Also, speaking of which, I am working on a program for in about 6 to 12 months. So click like and subscribe. I am going to create an inner circle where I will be giving trade advice, trade signals, so that you can take trades on buys and orders on one single index, and that would be the S&P 500. So you know when to get in and when to get out. You could do it yourself. I will charge a fee to get in. This is not a client relationship. This will just be a service that I'm providing, that you will have to pay a subscription to get in. But my whole goal is to give clients that maybe don't have enough money to invest, maybe want to invest on their own, and actually give them a service where they can rely on, and we can back it up by podcasts. We can back it up by charts. It will be called the Inner Circle. So if you're interested in something like that, want to get on our waiting list, then email me at info@cortezwm.com. Our Inner Circle will be exclusive for our VIP Inner Circle members. There will be a subscription. I'm still working out the kinks. Got to get attorneys involved to write up disclosures and agreements, as well as I'm actually back testing it myself. We'll be very, very simple. We'll just pick one ETF that we'll trade, probably the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, and we're just going to have signals. And sometimes we might not be in a trade. Sometimes there'll be 2 or 3 trades in a year. But my whole goal is to make 50 to 150% in returns just by leveraging this service. So I'm going to be coming out with that. My goal is to have that near Christmas or Q1 of next year. So stay tuned. I think it'll be really, really fun to basically trade the markets, and there's going to be a lot of volatility. The one thing for certain is there will be a ton of volatility. Speaking of volatility, let's go back to the volatility index. And here we are. The volatility index. You guys know I love talking about the VIX. And the VIX is pretty interesting right now because the VIX is at an all-time low. Let me get my little jar here. So we're looking around here, and this is obviously June 2024. If we look at the lows, we are literally at this all-time low. And every time you see this all-time low, I mean, imagine this line here. What happens in the preceding months? You see these spikes. Every time it hits that low, you see these spikes. Spikes. So we had a spike, obviously, in 2011. We had one in 2015. We had one in March 2018, and that was a year of tariffs. Obviously, we had one during COVID right here. And we haven't had a massive spike in a while. So this is when you see trading halts. This is when you see markets melting 500 points, increasing 1,000 points. You see the massive volatility. And it's like every 5 to 7 years, we see this massive VIX just skyrocket. And it's always an event. So it's too calm. Like there's too much stuff going on with the real estate prices going down, inflation. We have a president that might be 25th Amendment evoked. We have credit card all-time high. We have bankruptcies now increasing. We have a lot of bankruptcies bankruptcies are up. We have a weak job market that is cooling off. So a lot of recession indicators that are happening are literally happening right now. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Again, I'm not here to tell you about this trade, but what you could look at how to take advantage of the volatility is you can simply just buy the call options on this. Buy the call options on this. And if you look at the charts, so the volatility index is right about 1146. I mean, you could look at the 45s right here. And if it goes past 45s, you're in the money. And this thing skyrockets back to where we think it could go to in 75. You're in the money big time. So this would be a good trade for someone that has a few grand or a few bucks that they want to take advantage of the volatility. You know volatility is going to come. So we can simply just look at the VIX, the call options on a VIX. Of course, with any option trade, you lose the premium. So if you spend $1,000 on the option, you lose that actual premium if your certain strike price, your call option does not hit. You lose that premium. So that is a risk with options, is that if you buy those call options, you could lose it if your stock price doesn't hit by a certain target at that certain date. But if it does hit, then now you own 100 shares at that price for a fraction of the cost. So that is the leveraging that you can do on an option trade. Again, it's not meant for retirees. It's just something that you could do if you were interested in having some capital appreciation risk, something to grow. But I really like that trade because we're at an all-time low. And basically you're banking on like crap to happen. Whether it's another COVID, whether it's election flu, whether it's another manipulation. Guys, there's so much manipulation in the stock market. Just because it's the stock market does not mean you can't make money off of it. It is a rigged market. We get that. It is a rigged market. We get that. But you can still make money off of it. And so that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. I like showing you the manipulations. I like showing you what is happening when it comes to the charts. By the way, I haven't looked at it yet, but let's go ahead and take a gander real quick. I haven't looked at it. So I am actually looking at it right now. So you know how the dollar's crashing, right? The dollar's crashing, guys. The dollar's crashing. Buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. Buy your IRAs in gold right now because the dollar's going to crash. Well, guess what's actually happening? What is happening to the dollar? It's going up. But Carlos, the BRICS. Yes, I know about the BRICS. I know every country in the world wants the United States dollar. But look what's happening to the dollar, guys. I'm getting not just an upward trend, but I'm also getting green lights on my momentum indicator. Now, this is not political. This AI scanner is not political. It is legit telling us with thousands of different mathematical formulations working in the background that I couldn't even tell you how it worked, nor do I really even care or want to care how it works. I will say this, that the dollar is going up. And we have to be very careful on what we listen to because the dollar is going up. And if you look at other currencies, they're starting to come down. So a lot of manipulation, guys, to make it look good, make the Biden administration look like they know what they're doing. So I am afraid to tell you that the dollar is not crashing. Could it crash in the future? Yeah. Are they chipping away at it? Yeah. The BRICS are getting together and they're finding ways to get rid of the petrodollar. They're finding ways to hurt the dollar because they're just sick of it being bullied or being the bully for their economy. I say all this because I want you guys to understand that there is massive amount of manipulation going on. So what we need to understand is that all this is going to happen. This is going to continue to happen all throughout the election year, all throughout the history of the United States. There will be manipulations. There will be corporate greed. There will be a lot of volatility. But what you could do right now, is give us a call. We want to give you a solution that caters to your goals, that caters to everything you believe in. There's no reason for you to have fear. There's no reason to have your money just in all this uncertainty. You would go crazy in retirement. So if you have a retirement account and you want something smarter than just buying precious metals, because the same people that are manipulating the gold and the silver and the precious metals are the same people you're trying to avoid. The hedge funds, the banksters, the Zionists, right? The global elites. You know, and speaking of Israel, when I say Zionists, I'm talking about evil people like the elitists. I am not racist. I'm not anti-Israel at all. I believe in the biblical. I support the biblical Israel. I just don't support the evil people coming out of Israel or any other country. There's evil people in every country. And so I don't support this one world government that is nothing but Luciferians. And we know who you are. Some are from Israel, some are from other countries, some are from Greece, some are from United States, but you know who you are, particularly the 33-degree Freemasons, right? The Bilderberg Group guys, the global elitists. These are the people that are running the show. The Soros of the world, Klaus Schwab, you will own nothing and be happy. These are the evil people that are trying to just have crimes against humanity because they want to be in their own little bunker for the rest of their lives and destroy and depopulate and have this massive coup. So we get that. But at a micro level, we need to protect your principal. We need to avoid the banks. We need to avoid these traps that are happening right now. So I am just a watchman. I'm just here to give you some content so you can make an informed decision on what you want to do with your retirement, with your funds, with your banking issues, with your precious metals. By the way, if you want precious metals, I have a new sponsor, Cortez Wealth Gold. They allow me to put my name on their website. Cortez Wealth Gold is hosted by Genesis Gold, but we like Cortez Wealth Gold. Just go there.com. Cortez Wealth Gold. You can buy precious metals strictly to your door. I do not recommend buying precious metals in your IRA. Why would you tell the IRS where your precious metals is at? Whether it's in Texas or Delaware, that is the dumbest thing. Don't do that. Have it shipped to your home. Have it in your gun safe, underneath your mattress, in your underwear drawer, out of sight, out of mind, and use it for your bug out bag. I have precious metals. I don't have a ton of it, but I have enough that will last my family about a year. If anything was to happen, it's good to have, not for an investment purposes, but for emergency purposes. Because as a man, you should always, always provide and protect your family. Well, guys, I have a quick scripture I wanted to share. Joshua 1:8. You will prosper and succeed in all you do. God made you for success. God made you to come out on the top of every situation. Deuteronomy 28:13. God made you to be fruitful and multiply. Genesis 1:28. God made you to rule and reign. God made you to prosper. Jeremiah 29:11. There is no one who wants to succeed more than the Lord, which only makes him, considering he's your heavenly Father. He loves you. He has nothing but good things for you. He has blessed you with everything you need to succeed. Do you need wisdom? James 1:5. Do you need strategies and guidelines? Done. Joshua 1:8. Do you need resources? Done. Philippians 4:19. Do you need favor? Proverbs 3:4. Do you need connections in high places? Done. Ephesians 2:6. Do you need someone to go before you and open the doors? Done. Isaiah 45:2. God is more committed to your success than you are. His promises in Deuteronomy 28 that if you need to heed his counsel, he will command his blessing upon whatever you put his hand to do. I think this book is amazing. It's my daily devotion, 31 Decrees of Blessing for Men. I read it every podcast. I read it every day because I want to share my devotions with you guys, even if it's just for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We all need money. We all need all these things to survive and live. But I like to take the last few minutes, closing minutes, to just honor what is mostly important, bigger than money, bigger than diamonds, bigger than anything, is his word. And if you haven't asked Christ into your heart, please do so. My goal is to have your name written in the book of life. When you die, God will ask you, what'd you do for me? I gave you these gifts. I gave you these platform. I gave you this family member. I gave you this person. What'd you do for me? I don't want an egg on my forehead when I die. I want to be able to say, Lord, even when everyone didn't like me, I still proclaimed your name. Even when I had a podcast, I still proclaimed your name. Even when I had a little money in the bank, I still tied to the church. I still gave to ministries. I still helped the kids in Mexico get shoes. I still helped support the missionaries in other countries. I still led worship. I still would bring 500 men to the cross throughout my whole life. I want to be able to say that to God. And so part of my conviction is literally asking you, would you just ask him in your heart so you can have your name written in the book of life? Simple as that. Because more so than ever, more so than any other investment advice I can give you. Yeah, I can show you how to make millions. Yes, I can protect your money from the crazy stock markets and all these things. Yeah, I can do all those cool things. But it is now for the personal development of you. If you can ask God into your heart and say, I am a sinner, and there's nothing that is going to stop me from loving you, but I need you in my life. If you can say those words, you will be saved, and you can live a lifestyle to honor him. You will be saved. You will have so much abundant blessings like he has it in his scriptures. We're all sinners, especially me. I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of things, but it's time to change. It is time to change, because right now I can't tell you what is going to happen in the stock market. I can't tell you what's going to happen to America. I could only speculate and back it up by charts, but it's up to you to have our faith in Christ Jesus alone, where we know where that story ends. All right, guys, with that being said, kind of went too long here, but love you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want an appointment with us, go to CortezWM.com. Also, if you book an appointment with us, I will personally send my book to you, America First Time Plan book. I haven't sold it yet, but I only have a few hundred copies left. If you want one, book an appointment with us, cortezwm.com, or you can download our free guide at americafirstretirementplan.com and see how our process works. That being said, guys, I'm out of here. God bless.